Okay, I am on page 54 in our pink math journal. This is block 1. We are going to we're going to go in our journal and complete an example of the division strategy Fantastic 7. That's what we've been working on since I think we started talking about it a little bit last Friday. So just as a quick review, what do we call this number in our division problem? Who knows what we call this number? Addie? Dividend. Everyone say it with me. Dividend. Okay, and what do we call this smaller number?
Divisor.
Thank you. That's our divisor. Everyone say it with me. Divisor. And then when we get our answer, we call it the quotient. Okay, so let's go through them. When I point to them, say them. Dividend, divisor, quotient. And when we put the numbers in our division house, the dividend goes inside the division house. Okay, I still see a couple of people who don't have their pink math journal on page 54 yet. Okay, you should be writing this down with me. Thank you. Okay, and then we have our divisor on the outside. And what is the first thing that we like to do when we're looking at our Fantastic 7? What should I do first? Cordelia?
8 times 1, 8 times 10, 8 times 100.
Right, and we'll even go to 1,000 because it's a 4-digit dividend. And typically, for some reason, we always put them on the right, but here the room is on the left. So let's just kind of write out our facts. 8 times 1 equals 8. And then we'll skip down a little bit and we'll do 8 times 10, which equals 80. And then let's come down here and do 8 times 100, which equals
800.
Okay, and then we can come over here and do 8. Well, we don't want to come over there too far. 8 times 1,000, which equals 8,000. So remember, we like to think of division as what? Repeated subtraction. So the idea is that I am going to continue to subtract from the dividend until I get a number that is less than 8. Because once I have a number less than 8, I can't subtract anymore. Okay? So I need to ask myself, I really need you to hone in, especially if you're thinking this is hard. Okay? Because that's how we learn, is by really paying attention and not just copying down what I'm writing, but thinking, why is she writing that? Why is she putting that number there? And if we don't understand, then we need to what?
Raise your hand.
Right, because odds are if you don't know why I'm putting a number somewhere, there's other people in the room who also don't know why. So that's called being an active learner. So I want to see all of us really being active participants this morning and really trying to hone in and figure out how to divide. Yes? Well, you can move, babe. You don't even have to ask. Okay, so I want to know if I can subtract 8 1,000 times. That would be subtracting 8,000. Trevor, can I subtract 8,000 here? No. So I can't subtract 8 1,000 times. I can even just kind of X through that if I want to know. We don't need that. But can I subtract 8 100 times? Can I subtract 800? I can. But remember our example yesterday where we kept subtracting 100 times over and over? And we said, well, we can probably get closer to that number. So we said, what's halfway between 100 and 1,000? So let's come up here and write 8 times 500. What is 8 times 500? What's 8 times 500?
4,000?
Right, but let's not yell out, please. MJ? 4,000. So 8 times 5 is 40, and then I add my 2 zeros. Can I subtract 4,000?
Yes.
And that's really pretty close to my dividend, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so that means the less times I have to subtract, the less times there are that I might make a mistake. So I'm saying I'm going to subtract 8 500 times. So that's part of my quotient. It's a partial quotient. But instead of saying minus 8, minus 8, minus 8, minus 8 500 times, I'm just going to chunk that all together and I'm going to subtract 4,000. Now, can I subtract 4,000 again?
No.
Can I subtract 800? Okay, everyone look. I have 248. Can I subtract 800? No. Can I subtract 80? Okay, do you think that I could get closer to 248 than 80? Probably. So what is halfway between 10 and 100? 50. So let's try 8 times 50. What's 8 times 50? Owen? 400. 8 times 5 is 40 and add a 0. Can I subtract 400?
No.
So that's too big. So now let's go halfway between 10 and 50 and let's try 8 times 30. What's 8 times 30? What is 8 times 30, Morgan? 240. Can I subtract 240?
Yes.
Okay, and that's pretty close to 248, right? Okay, so I'm going to subtract 8 30 more times. I'm going to put it over here with my partial quotients, and that is the same as subtracting 240. And that leaves me with 8. Can I subtract 80?
No.
Can I subtract 8?
Yes.
Okay, and I can subtract it just one more time. So I put down my partial quotient, I subtract. Can I subtract any more? I'm done. So I need to add together, what do we call these three numbers over here? Partial quotients, and it's 531. Okay, how do I multiply back to check? Trista. Well, what two numbers do I need to multiply? 531 times 8. And you can use any strategy that you want. Cordelia, could you please shut the door for me? 500 plus 30 plus 1 times 8. And the cool thing I think about this is that you really already have all of the math done. We already have 8 times 500 right here. So it's 4,000. We already have 8 times 30 right here. It's 240. And we already have 8 times 1, which is 8. So now I just need to add my partial products. Is that the same as my dividend?
Yes.
Then I'm correct. Okay, Lily, did you have a question? This one?
Yeah.
I just broke apart 531. Thank you. MJ? I'm not sure I understand your question. Where would I put 10? Here? No, because here's 531 as your quotient. So I just did 531 times 8. So I just broke apart 531 into 500 plus 30 plus 1. Okay? Yes, Cordelia? You can move up there behind Stella, next to Nolan. Okay, I want you to take this packet out. This is our long division Fantastic 7 packet. We're on number 7.